Okay, so in this video, we're going to be talking about improving hip extension. We're going from bent hip position like this to an extended hip position where I'm nice and flat here through the front. My hips are coming through without overarching my low back, okay? It's very important to learn how to engage and extend each hip individually and simultaneously. So this first hip extension exercise that we're going to work is going to be from half kneeling position. We're going to step forward with our left foot, make sure that our front knee is 90 degrees. Our back foot is going to be up just like this on the toes because we're going to be pushing off of those toes going forward. Number one thing I want you to do is not arch your low back this way in order to just bring your body forward. You actually want to stay nice and upright without too much arching or extension in the low back. Okay, so first things first, don't dump all of that tension into your low back. Make your torso and spine nice and neutral, nice and upright, nice and long. Number two, we're going to squeeze this back glute and all of this musculature in the back, and we're going to immediately feel a nice and good stretch on the front of our hip. That's all of our hip flexion tissue, the tissue that would normally bring this knee up towards our chest. And then if you don't feel a stretch, what you can do is imagine a string coming from the front of your hip here, and it's just going to bring that string, bring your hip out here, and you're going to feel a little bit more of an intense stretch. So right now we're in the first 2 minutes of our PAILs and RAILs exercise for hip extension. What we're going to do is for the PAILs, remember, PAILs is always contracting the progressive tissue of the angle or the one that's under stretch. So right now, the front of our hip, the ones that do hip flexion, are stretched. So we're going to activate into hip flexion in order to do our PAILs contraction. So after our 2 minute stretch where we're feeling a nice and stretch here and we're not backing out of it anymore or going deeper or letting the tension out, we're just maintaining the same level. We're going to take a breath in, pack our abs, get nice and tight. Remember, keep this back glute squeezed. What you're going to do is you're going to pretend to drag this front knee forward. Okay, so you're going to imagine like you're pushing the ground and the earth forward away from you, just like this, so that if you were on a frictionless surface, your knee would just slide forward this way. And you're going to immediately feel all of this tissue in the front start to get activated, and we're going to hold. We can ramp this up to our safest, comfortable level, and we're holding for 15 total seconds. After 15 seconds, we're going to keep this back glute engaged, actually. And now what we're going to do is we're going to drive off our back toes for rails. And I'm pushing off those back toes, keeping this glute squeeze, trying to extend this hip actively even more. So we're still feeling a stretch even more so now, and we're holding. And after 15, we relax. Relax, pushing off those toes. Keep these glutes engaged. And we're just a little deeper into hip extension. And now we're going to hold for another 2 minutes.